In the heart of New York City's towering skyline, where glass facades reflected the relentless hustle below, Alexander Voss stepped into the executive boardroom of Vostech Industries. The clock struck 9 a.m. sharp, the time he'd scheduled for the quarterly strategy meeting. As the CEO and founder, Alex had built this empire from a garage startup into a billion-dollar tech giant, and punctuality was his religion. But today, the room was eerily empty. No polished mahogany table lined with his top executives, no steaming coffee pots or stacks of reports. Just silence, broken only by the faint hum of the air conditioning. Alex's brow furrowed as he checked his watch again, a sleek Rolex that had been a gift from his late father, a reminder of the blue-collar roots he'd escaped. Where was everyone? He paced the room, his Italian leather shoes echoing on the marble floor like accusations. Minutes ticked by, 5, 10, 15. Rage bubbled up inside him like a storm brewing, mixing with a gnawing unease he couldn't quite place. This was his company, his domain. How dare they keep him waiting? And then, as he glanced at the security feed on his phone, his heart stopped. The entire executive floor was deserted, but the cameras showed something impossible. His team, gathered in a secret huddle in the basement garage, whispering urgently. What were they plotting? Alex's hand trembled on the door handle. Little did he know, this was just the beginning of a betrayal that would shatter everything he held dear. Alex's mind raced back to the early mornings in his childhood home in Queens, where his father, a factory worker, would rise at dawn, instilling in him the value of hard work and timeliness. Time is the one thing you can't buy back, son, he'd say, his voice gravelly from years on the assembly line. Alex had taken that lesson to heart, turning it into the fuel that propelled him through MIT on scholarships, through the cutthroat world of Silicon Valley internships, and finally into founding Vostech. The company specialized in AI-driven energy solutions, promising to revolutionize how the world powered its cities. But success had come at a cost. His marriage to Sarah had dissolved 5 years ago, eroded by his endless hours at the office. "You're married to your work, Alex," she'd said during their final argument, her eyes filled with tears. Now, as he stood alone in the boardroom, that isolation felt more profound than ever. He pulled out his phone again, dialing Victor's number. No answer. Elena's went to voicemail. Marcus didn't even ring. A cold sweat broke out on his forehead. Were they avoiding him? Or worse, had something happened? The thought of an emergency crossed his mind, a car accident, a family crisis. But deep down, he knew it was something more sinister. He activated the building's intercom, his voice booming through the halls. "This is Alex Voss. Report to the boardroom immediately." Still, nothing. Frustration turned to fury. He slammed his fist on the table, the sound reverberating like a gunshot. Then, the security feed updated. They were still in the garage, now gesturing animatedly at a laptop screen. Alex's pulse quickened. Betrayal? Sabotage? He grabbed his coat and headed for the elevator, each floor descent feeling like a plunge into uncertainty. The elevator doors opened with a soft ding, revealing the dimly lit garage filled with the scent of oil and exhaust. Rows of luxury cars, his team's perks, gleamed under fluorescent lights. There they were, Victor Hale, the CFO with his impeccable suits and sharp wit, Elena Ramirez, the CMO whose fiery passion had won them countless awards. Marcus Lee, the CTO, always buried in code, his mind a labyrinth of algorithms, and the others, Sarah Klein from HR, Tom Bennett from operations, all huddled like conspirators in a thriller novel. Alex's approach was silent at first, his shadow stretching long across the concrete. "What the hell is going on here?" he thundered, his voice echoing off the walls. They jumped, papers scattering. Victor stepped forward, his face a mask of guilt and resolve. "Alex, we didn't want you to find out like this." Elena's eyes darted away, her hands clasped tightly. Marcus adjusted his glasses, avoiding eye contact. The air thickened with unspoken words. Alex's mind whirled. Were they unionizing? Planning a mass resignation? Or something far worse? Before anyone could elaborate, his phone vibrated insistently. An alert from the company's cybersecurity system, unauthorized access detected. Files downloading remotely. His blood ran cold. Someone's hacking us, he whispered, showing the screen. The team's faces paled further. Victor swallowed hard. Alex, that's what we're down here about. It's not what you think. But Alex's trust was fracturing. How could he believe them now? Flashback to the company's inception, a decade ago in that dingy Brooklyn garage. Alex, then 42, had quit his stable job at a tech firm, cashing out his 401k to fund the dream. Victor was the first to join, a former classmate who'd lost his own job in the recession. I believe in you, man, Victor had said over cheap beer, sealing their partnership. They worked 18-hour days, coding by lamplight, surviving on ramen and sheer willpower. Elena came next. A marketing was laid off from a failing agency, bringing her 2-year-old daughter to interviews because she couldn't afford a sitter. I need this, she'd pleaded, and Alex saw his own hunger in her eyes. Marcus was recruited from a university lab, his breakthrough in AI algorithms the spark that ignited Vosteka's potential. Together, they navigated the startup gauntlet, pitched decks rejected by venture capitalists who laughed at their pipe dream of green AI tech. A near-fatal blow came when their first prototype exploded during a demo, singeing Alex's eyebrows and nearly ending it all. But they persevered, bonding over failures turned into lessons. The night they secured their seed funding, they celebrated on the rooftop, toasting with sparkling cider, Elena's choice, as she was pregnant again. To family, Alex had said, meaning every word. Now, in the garage, those memories clashed violently with the present. Victor continued, we've been seeing red flags, Alex. The AI project's overruns, the ignored audits. We were preparing a united front to confront you. Elena added, tears welling, we love this company as much as you do. But Alex's walls were up. A united front? In secret? That's not loyalty, that's mutiny. Just then, another alert pinged, the anonymous email blast. Alex opened it on his phone, his face ashen as he read the accusations, embezzlement hints, risky investments glossed over, personal expenses charged to the company. It was all twisted, but kernels of truth stung. The AI initiative, his brainchild, had ballooned from $100 million to $500 million, with delays piling up. He'd pushed it despite warnings, convinced it was the future. Now, the email linked to leaked documents, spreading like virus across inboxes. Who did this? Alex demanded, eyes boring into each of them. Accusations flew. Victor pointed to a rival firm, Elena suggested a hacker collective. But suspicion lingered. Marcus stepped up, we can trace it. Let me, but Alex cut him off. No. You're all done. The words escaped before he could stop them. Security guards, summoned via app, arrived moments later. As his team was escorted out, protests ringing, Alex felt a hollow victory. The garage emptied, leaving him alone with echoing footsteps. Outside, the press vans were already arriving, tipped off anonymously. The stock ticker on his phone showed a 5% dip. What had he unleashed? In the days that followed, Alex barricaded himself in his office, the once vibrant hub now a fortress of solitude. He reviewed footage obsessively, piecing together timelines. The team had met secretly for weeks, emails showed, coded messages about the intervention. Paranoia set in, were there moles elsewhere? He called board members, spinning the narrative as a necessary purge. They were undermining me, he insisted, but doubt crept in during quiet moments. Nights blurred into days, sleep evading him as memories haunted. Sarah, his ex-wife, had warned him years ago, Power isolates, Alex. Don't let it consume you. Their divorce had been amicable on paper, but the pain lingered. He thought of Lily, their daughter, now pursuing her own tech dreams in California. When was the last time he'd called? Guilt twisted like a knife. To distract, he dove into damage control, hiring crisis PR firms, reassuring investors via Zoom. But the lawsuits hit fast, wrongful termination claims from the team, each detailing years of overwork, ignored input, emotional tolls. Victor's suit mentioned his wife's chemotherapy sessions missed due to Alex's demands. Elena's highlighted gender biases in promotions. Marcus claimed intellectual property theft on ideas he'd proposed. Reading them, Alex saw himself through their eyes, a tyrant, not a leader. A turning point came during a late-night scroll through old photos on his phone. There was the team at the company retreat 3 years ago, laughing around a bonfire in the Adirondacks. Victor strumming a guitar, Elena sharing stories of her kids, Marcus geeking out over stargazing. Alex had felt invincible then, surrounded by allies. Now, isolation weighed heavy. He reached out to Lily, the call connecting after rings that felt eternal. "Dad? It's 3 a.m. here. Everything okay?" Her voice, sleepy but warm, cracked his facade. He poured out the story, the waiting, the firing, the fallout. Lily listened, then sighed. "You always charge ahead without looking back. Remember when I was kid, and you'd miss my recitals for meetings? It's the same pattern." Her words stung, but they awakened something. "What do I do now?" he asked, vulnerable for the first time. "Apologize. Rebuild. Start with listening." Inspired, Alex contacted a mediator, proposing neutral ground talks. But responses were icy. Victor, too little, too late. Elena, you've burned us. Marcus, silent. The cliffhanger dangled, would pride win, or redemption? Weeks turned to months, the company teetering. Stock plummeted 30%, clients defected to competitors touting stability. Alex assembled a skeleton crew of mid-managers, young, eager talents like Priya from engineering, who'd idolized him, and Jamal from sales, a street-smart negotiator. They worked tirelessly, auditing books revealing deeper rot, supply chain fraud overlooked, R&D waste. Alex admitted faults in all-hands meetings. "I failed you all by failing to lead." Whispers of hope stirred. Then, a breakthrough. Cybersecurity forensics traced the leak to Derek Voss, Alex's estranged cousin, a former employee fired for incompetence years ago. Revenge motive clear, with ties to a rival. Evidence exonerated the team. Alex's heart sank, his rashness had amplified the damage. He drafted personal letters, hand-delivered. To Victor, "Your loyalty deserved better. Let's talk." To Elena, "Your voice matters. Forgive my deafness." To Marcus, "Your genius built this. Help me fix it." The reunion summit at a Catskills cabin was tense, rain pattering on windows mirroring inner storms. Victor arrived first, guarded. "Why now?" Alex confessed, "Because I was wrong. The hack wasn't you, but my ego blinded me." Elena entered, arms crossed. "You fired us like trash." Tears flowed as stories unfolded, Victor's home life crumbling under stress, Elena's burnout leading to therapy, Marcus's ideas stifled sparking resentment. Alex shared his own scars. Father's death from overwork, mother's abandonment, fueling his drive but warping trust. Vulnerability bridged gaps. By firelight, they brainstormed revival, pivot AI to ethical applications, empower teams, balance work-life. Agreements signed, they returned as partners, equity shared. Rebuilding tested limits. A major investor pulled out, forcing layoffs, heart-wrenching choices sparing families first. Media scrutiny intensified, paparazzi hounding Alex. Internal sabotage attempts surfaced, Derek's network exposed, leading to arrests. The team rallied. Elena's PR campaign humanized the saga, viral videos of Vosteka's redemption. Marcus optimized systems, cutting losses 40%. Victor secured funding bridges. Lily flew in, joining as advisor, her fresh perspective innovating. Challenges peaked at the annual Tech Expo, a demo glitch threatened credibility. But quick thinking, Marcus's patch, Elena's spin, turned it triumphant. Revenues climbed, culture shifted to collaboration. A year later, at the gala, Alex addressed the crowd, "From ashes, we rise through humility, empathy, unity." Applause thundered. Vostek thrived, a beacon of resilient leadership. Alex, reconciled with Lily and team, found peace. The waiting had been a catalyst, teaching that true power lies in connection, not control. The expanded story delves deeper into Alex's backstory, growing up in a modest Queens apartment where the sounds of the subway rattled the windows and his father's calloused hands told stories of endless shifts at the factory. His mother had left when he was 10, chasing dreams that didn't include a family, leaving Alex with a void he filled with ambition. School was his escape. He excelled in math and science, earning a full ride to MIT where he met visionaries who sparked his entrepreneurial fire. Post-grad, he bounced between jobs, each a stepping stone, until the idea for Vostek hit during a power outage in his tiny apartment. What if AI could predict and prevent energy crises, he scribbled on a napkin. That napkin became the blueprint. Victor's entry was serendipitous. At an alumni mixer, Victor, down on luck after a firm collapse, overheard Alex pitching. "Numbers don't lie," Victor said, joining on a handshake. Their first office was a shared space with leaky roofs, but ideas flowed. Elena's interview stood out. Arriving with toddler in tow, she presented a mock campaign that wowed. "Hire me, and I'll make Vostek synonymous with innovation," she declared. Hired on spot. Marcus was poached from academia after Alex attended his lecture on quantum computing applications in energy. "Join us, change the world," Alex urged. Marcus, introverted but brilliant, agreed. Early struggles forged bonds. A VC pitch gone wrong, investor mocking their hippie tech, left them deflated, but they laughed it off over dive bar drinks. Prototype failures, one overheated, setting off sprinklers, drenching files. Baptism by fire, Alex joked. Lawsuit from a patent troll drained funds, they crowdfunded, Elena's social media savvy raising $200,000. Triumph came with the first contract, a city grid optimization deal. Celebration involved cheap wine, dreams shared under stars. In the present, post-firing chaos deepened. Alex's penthouse, once a symbol of success, felt cavernous. Sleepless nights replaying the garage scene. Media dubbed it Voss's Vendetta. Stock nosedive triggered margin calls. Alex liquidated assets, including his father's watch. Heartbreaking. Board meetings turned interrogations. Resign or we'll force you. He fought, presenting turnaround plans, buying time. Lily's visit was pivotal. Arriving unannounced, she found him disheveled. "Dad, you're a mess." Over coffee, she shared her startup flop, over-ambition mirroring his. "I get it now," she said. They bonded, her ideas refreshing Vosteka's direction. Reaching out to the team involved humility. Victor met first at a park bench. "I missed my wife's last good days because of your deadlines," he revealed. Alex apologized sincerely. Elena at a cafe, "As a woman in tech, I fought twice as hard, only to be sidelined." Dialogue healed. Marcus via video, "My codes were my kids, you adopted them without credit." Forgiveness earned through actions. At the summit, activities built trust, team-building hikes, sharing circles. Rainstorm trapped them, forcing candor. Laughter returned over board games. Plans solidified, diversify into renewables, employee wellness programs. Turnaround hurdles, supplier strike over unpaid bills, Victor negotiated settlements. Talent poaching by rivals. Elena countered with culture campaigns. Cyber attacks persisted, Marcus fortified defenses. Expo success, glitch fixed live, crowd cheering. Revenues surged 25%. Personal growth, Alex dated sparingly, prioritized therapy. Reconnected with Sarah platonically. Team outings became tradition. The gala speech encapsulated, leadership is service, not supremacy. We fell, rose stronger together. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of triumph over adversity. Thanks for watching.